How, hello everyone, how are you all tonight? We do not have the person here yet. I'm not sure what's happened to them who we're supposed to be talking with, but we do have the medal, so this is good. You can see the medal there. He is
Hello.
waves. So I do not know what exactly happened with our guest at the moment. I sent him a link to the meet, and he said he was looking forward to it, and I did tweet this out earlier with him, his thing on it, and so hopefully he hasn't fallen asleep or something and forgot.
Yeah.
So, what's new with you, Metal?
Not much. I'm still basically doing the same stuff I've been doing, so.
Yeah. You almost got that manga complete, or?
Almost. I'm on page 40 of, 45, so.
Almost. I'm on page 40. Mom, shut my door! 45, so. Hey, Evan! Did you get your face back? What do you mean, did I get my face back?
Oh, no, he's asking me. He was upset during the vomitorium because he's like, you look different. It's like, yeah, I shaved. He's like, well, unshave.
Hello. Just making a message to Mr. Ahmet. See whether I can get his attention with a hey,
No, it'll take a good week until the stash is back in full, and then like a week and a half until everything else is caught up.
Yeah. So hopefully he sees that. I guess eventually we can go to his book. I do have it up, of course, on Indiegogo. Evan says, I'll see you in a week. Oh, that would be nice to go over this with him, obviously.
Yeah, I do have it up.
Yes. Yeah, here he says, yay, is that the link? And I said, yeah. I guess he didn't realize the Google Meet thing was the link.
It probably confuses people. Not anybody really uses Meet for anything.
Yeah, and it's new to use it to a lot of people, so. So hopefully it won't take him long to get in. Because it doesn't take long to set up, especially the first time. Most people aren't used to it, so. I'm just going to keep an eye on what he. I have to think, so I am just using in. Did you have to install anything? Do you remember using this?
No, it works right in browser.
Yeah, no, don't. I'm just using in my
browser. I don't know if there is an app for it, but it definitely works in browser. I know that.
maybe he has maybe he's coming on via phone or something. I'm not sure.
Well, Google Meet works off of Gmail on the phone, I think. Because when you open up your Gmail app, it has Meet in the bottom.
Evan says, try reinstalling your beard.
Yeah, you see right there at the bottom where it says Meet?
Right now, we're just got Metal. I'm working on getting on the guy from Alzamat Comics, although I've said his name, Alberto, but that is on his Indiegogo, so I'm not doxing anybody.
Yeah. And, Evan, the beard is installed. It's just currently during a refresh cycle.
There we go. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear us?
Hey. I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Sorry about the confusion. Here we are. What did you prefer, Alberto or Alzamat? I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of your comic company.
Yeah, it's Elasmat Films. I mean, my name is out there, so it's not a problem, but usually people call me Elasmat, so if you want to just use that.
Okay, no problem. Elasmat, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, I can barely hear you because it's muffled. I don't know if it's on my end, but you sound muffled, so
Rick always sounds muffled. That's just how it is.
Probably,
okay, cool.
Probably me. I might have to speak up and enunciate.
Yeah. I had it on Bluetooth, but the problem with the Bluetooth is I come out sounding like I'm on a phone. So, look, I'm driving right now, so I got the Bluetooth off, so I can come off clear on your end.
Oh, that sounds good.
So that means like I'm holding the phone close to my ear, so able to hear you better. So
that's good. Evan, this is to I think Metal here. That's the other guy that you're hearing here is Metal. I'm not sure whether you've heard him around before. He says you need a firmware update, and he says, and it's not Hazmat, Evan. It's Alzamat, right?
Elasmat.
Elasmat. He
sounds like an elder god in some like Lovecraftian tale.
But Evan is wondering whether you have a beard, Alzamat. This is all because of Metal shaved his beard a couple days ago. So,
and Evan hasn't gotten over it yet.
So how are you?
What?
How are you?
Yeah. Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got out of work, so I'm driving right now. So I'm a little bit not exhausted, but I'm kind of drained. However, I'm trying to keep my inspiration up so I can work on my book and get that little creativity going. So
yeah. Mrs. Dillard's here, and she says, "Good evening, woohoo!" Crush did his hair all nice. A little bit.
I'm gonna put the Bluetooth on because I'm really having a hard time hearing you. So I think if it's like I'm on a phone, it's probably better just because that way I can hear you better without having to be pulled to the side by 5-0.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you was it you that said that the 10:30 or so?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that part too.
Are we live now?
Yeah, we are live.
Yeah. Okay, well there you go. Live radio. That's how this works. Okay.
Well, we can talk to you. Obviously, get home, and then maybe once you get home, we'll go into the campaign a little bit more in detail because.
I'll be home like 15 minutes. So by that point, I'll be settled in and everything and ready to. I think I can talk now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Well, that way you can see whatever I'm putting up on the web because I have your website up and ready. Well, not your website, but your the Indiegogo up and ready to be shown. So, anybody got any questions out there for Alzamat?
A lasmat.
A lasmat.
We're gonna have to keep correcting you because I know you, Rick. You're gonna keep getting it wrong.
Yeah, of course. And I am sorry for that. Alzamat.
Well, remember that's the show. Don't worry.
Yeah. He'll get it eventually. It'll take a while, but he'll get it.
Yeah.
By inner strength, he'll master it.
Travis says, still sounds better than Rick's mic quality half the time. Okay, I guess first question is, how did you get into comics?
I mean, I started reading comics as a boy. I wasn't an avid collector, but I would get it like every so often. My mom wouldn't take me out as much, so I didn't get those weekly trips to the shop to get, my comics. I would say it wasn't until junior high when I started collecting comics a bit more on a weekly basis, and especially when I got into the Reign of the Superman storyline with DC, and then Superman's return from the dead. That's where I would collect comics a bit more often. And then there was a period where I stopped collecting. But during the period I was collecting, I was drawing, and I went to art school, and I had a few characters of my own that I was creating, and just making my own stories. I was in love with the 60s Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoon, and as well as the Batman cartoon network was actually cool. And it would show the cool. It was my creativity was awesome. And I was in my own little comics up until the late 90s, and then I kind of fell off for a little while, and then I started making films, and did a few years of filmmaking, and then took a break from that, and then got back into filmmaking again for a few years, and then in 2015, drawing mini comics, Roadwarrior Drake. And then in 2018, after watching the Thundercats 4 trailer promo, which is pure shit, I said, okay, I'm going to do my own graphic novel, and it's going to have Roadwarrior Drake in it. So here we are today, 2 years later.
Cool. Evan says he has a real question for you. And while he's typing that in the chat, because he hasn't typed it in the chat yet, what was I going to...
I'm skeptical that it's a real question until I see it.
Yeah, me too, a little bit. How did you come up with the name Alzamat?
Okay, so Alzamat is actually an amalgamation of my whole name. So Al, which is my first name, Alberto.
Yeah.
The last part is actually my baptismal middle name, which is Lazarus. And Matt is a truncated version of my last name, but instead of Alas Mart, which sounds like a convenience store, I said, let me take the R out and say it's Matt, so Alas Matt. There you go.
See, I was actually guessing that's where it came from when I saw your full name next to it.
Yeah, the key there is my baptismal middle name, Lazarus. Without that, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. And apparently Evan's question was not a real question.
Well, I mean, that's not so. What kind of question was it?
He says, can Alzamat put up a loading bar on Metal's screen for Metal's beard? We need to see the percentage of growth in real time. So, like you said, not a real question.
I couldn't think of what was said, but I guess I'll take your word for it.
Evan says, can we pretend it's a real question? No!
I don't think Evans ever has a real question for these people that you have on here.
Oh, once in a while.
You gotta line up the stream, so, a playful question every now and then, it's not gonna hurt nobody, so I don't mind having some fun here.
And Raggedy, did Metal shave his beard because I grew one?
No, I just hate having facial hair, and I finally got around to shaving it.
Yeah. Any questions?
I love facial hair. I feel like if I shave my face, I become invisible.
Hey, to each their own. I don't question it.
Anything that you can... think to ask Metal or whatever for the moment, or till we can get into the Indiegogo?
Oh, well, I have his Indiegogo up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just waiting to show it on screen till he's, at home and at his computer.
Well, that's why I've been waiting to ask any real questions.
Well, it's really a matter of perspective.
Yeah. Evan says, I have a real question for Metal, and he says, how the hell did you know? I'm not sure what that was to. Dillard's in the chat and says, I have a weird question for the beardless wonders. Okay, what, Dillard? And Travis, Metal can turn invisible by just turning sideways.
Probably.
As you can tell, we like to have a lot of fun on this channel. And joke around a lot.
Fun is good, especially when you got that thing, a glass of wine. We need some wine up in here, I think.
Evan says, oh, now we're anti-real question. And Gilda says, who the hell is the guy and why should I stop stuffing my fat face for a second to care? Well, obviously we have Metal on here. And this is Alzamat from Alzamat Comics. And he has a Indiegogo for his book, Street Champion Roadwarrior Drake.
That's it. There you go.
Which we will, of course, be going into as soon as he gets home. Right now he is on the road, driving, and talking via Bluetooth. So we want him to be able to be at his computer and not a lot of noise around when we're going through the campaign. Because we can't hear the driving.
So I'm on. I'm on this Google Meet app talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I can't see shit for the chat, so I had to go to the YouTube link. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing the chat. Now I can see the question much better.
Yeah.
So now we can have some fun. It's like,
Dylan says, I have a question about the Road Warrior Drake. Evan says he has a real question for you this time. Evan asked Dylan what's he stuffing his face with. Okay, what's your question?
Yeah, but see, my advice is don't ask to ask the question. Just ask the question. Just go ahead.
No, they're asking to ask a question to troll. That's part of their game.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
And in essence, they had asked the question. That's brilliant.
And they're not even asking a question, they're just saying they have a question.
Oh,
yeah.
May I share that question? Can I share that question? Let's all indulge in that question together. Let's grow in that question. Let's become one in that question. Let's wonder and ponder together and solve the biggest problems in our workplace.
So I actually do have a question. This Drake dude, is he a duck?
Okay, now that you asked that question, no, he's not a duck. He's a beast citizen.
He's a what?
A beast citizen.
Okay. Dylan says, I have seen this show where the Road Warrior interviews people. A La Space Ghost style. The question, if I may ask, where does he get off copying my buckler show?
I couldn't hear that last question.
Dillard says, I've seen his show, although I don't think it's your show, but I could be wrong. Where
the Roadwarrior Drake show, yes.
Yeah,
Talk show for Roadwarrior Drake.
Okay, the Road Warrior interviews people a la Space Ghost style. The question, if I may ask, is where does he get off copying my buckler show?
I don't even know who that is. I should check it out.
Yeah, that's John Dillard's character. He's done a style like Space Ghost or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you know what I say about that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I say about that? Collaboration. collaborate and listen. I say that there's networking and growth together.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
For sure. Never
So,
says he has a question.
maybe we'll hit each other up, and then we'll help grow each other's channels.
Yeah. Evan says, I have a question for Rick. Why are you ruining the joke by explaining it? I'm trying to make sure people are in on the joke so it's not ruined. Especially people that are new to the channel. Like,
what are we going to call Vanilla Lights?
Yeah.
That's an excellent question. Wait, no. See, that's the most important question tonight. He's asking me, where do I get a quote Vanilla Ice? That's an excellent question. And that's a question that needs to be observed. We have to analyze each point in that question because there's a scientific relevancy in that question. And I'm glad he asked it. So I'm going to take this moment to ponder it for a minute. I'm gonna pray on it and meditate on it and ask myself, why do I quote Vanilla Ice? Why did I quote it? I have no fucking clue. Okay, so when you can come up with the answer, let me know because I think your answer will be the correct answer.
Oh, we got Lorenzo in the chat and says, "Hey everyone, Raggedy asked, Rick, will you ever show the games you play?" I try to. That's over on my Twitch channel. I have a art and gaming channel over there. So I hear no noise behind you. Would that indicate you are home?
Well, it indicates that I'm about a couple blocks away from home. I'm driving slowly. I'm making sure I avoid the police officer if they don't see my hand on the phone because I don't want to risk that ticket. But I'm almost home, so I should be parking any second.
Okay, that's good. That's good for sure.
And you know what it is? I feel like these questions that the chat's asking, I feel like they're asking some very good questions, and I'm wasting it, answering it on the car when I should be home, when I'm settled in, and answering it with the full intention it deserves. But at the same time, making these people wait is not good either. And I found my parking spot right here. Here's my parking spot. This is great. I got a decent parking spot. I thought I was going to have to drive around the block, but I don't have to. This is great. This is progress. This is scientific progress.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful. I'm not putting the car on brake. I'm now shutting off my car, and I'm about to get out the car, headed to my home. This is wonderful. Like, I'm inspired. Like, your chat has inspired me to levels that I never thought was possible. I'm amazed. I can soar to new heights now, and I can give the attention these questions deserve. By the way, have you guys figured out the answer to that question? Why was I quoting Vanilla Ice? Because I really am stumped on that one. I need a scientific answer for that one.
I haven't got a clue. Let's see. Evan says, redeem the sketch card for 2,000 points. Draw the next.
I got an answer for you. If you don't, who will?
That is a great answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal that one. I'm gonna steal it, and I'm not gonna give you credit for it. So.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
And Evan, we'll do that tomorrow on Twitch. If you have points, you can redeem them for your sketch card.
Okay, now I am home, so I will be connected to my laptop in a few seconds.
Okay.
And this will create amazing content, amazing good quality content. Now I'm not going to dox anything else here, but y'all can imagine the struggle of me entering my home.
Yeah. Well,
and setting up my station.
Well, we have right now up on screen. Everybody has I've got the Indiegogo up, so everybody sees that at the moment. So
cool. If you want, while I'm setting up my laptop, why don't you play the trailer on it? It's a 2-minute trailer, animated trailer, with original music by Dark If Comics, Purple Smurf, and the vocals by Aaron Easton. Okay. So play that while I set up my laptop.
Okay, let's see.
rise of a kingdom on the ashes of all law and order, ruled now by the overseers, pleasurers, and pains. We hear desperation and silent cries of weak. Seek now for heroes, those who will restore all righteousness and nobility. No fear. We need a hero. Our warrior, defender, a street champion.
Is this the sign of the apocalypse? Are we all gonna die now?
I am Wolverine this, so hold on one second. Okay, here we go. I think I got it. There we go. Okay, so I'm on my laptop right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hook up my other professional camera. This is gonna really make this show elevated to heights that I didn't think was possible, but it's gonna be great. Hold on. Putting on my streaming only microphone, and here we go. Did I interrupt it, by the way?
I don't think so. I think they would have only heard that because I don't think they'll hear you at the moment. I'm not sure.
Okay, let me put my headphones on. I can hear you guys better. Yeah, this is much better. I like this setup better. I feel more empowered. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
I just want to make sure the chat. Did everyone see that at full size and hear that?
Oh yeah, no, they heard the microphone feedback and everything.
Okay, and you can still hear you guys in the background. Okay, oops. We heard everything. Okay.
Yeah, I was hearing some things too, actually. So I guess it was clearly a, totally well, I don't know. I'm just glad to be home. That's all.
Testify HD said Alzamat killed CG with his showering on stream.
Oh, heck yeah. Absolutely. It is a much needed thing. Totally.
Yeah.
You get to see all my talents and skills on display.
No. Okay. So we are gonna start trying to dive into Street Champion Roadwarrior Drake, the Dubé of the newest comic book brawler.
Hold on one
That's
second.
pronounced debut.
Debut. I know I always pronounce. I know I say it wrong, but. And we've got 9 days left. He has met his goal of. This is in Canadian funds here. Let me switch to U.S. currency.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, when did I get all those backers? So I turned to my side. I was like, oh no, it's just a currency.
Yeah. So yeah, he reached his goal of 1,500. He's 130 over. 1,960. He has 8 days left. 43 backers. So let's see. 2 years ago, after seeing too many SJW indoctrinations of my favorite shows, I finally decided. #challenge accepted. The star of the YouTube's witty, hilarious talk show and first graphic novel. No, it's not the Trash Compactor. It's Road Warrior Drake, host of the Road Warrior Drake analysis seen on YouTube in his first action adventure black and white book. So, meet the newest Comicsgate character where Skullkill, a near dead city on the other side of the apocalyptic overrun by the Street Warriors, a network of gangs with odd abilities, overseeing an enterprise sales of a new deadly new drug called Rum, nicknamed Sparkplug, that turns its addicts into numb and mindless zombies. In the background emerges a mysterious creature with a fast mouth and itchy fists. This is Road Warrior Drake, the Street Champion. Okay, so I think
Evan Hotep says that the show's gotten boring. I would argue that you haven't seen anything yet. We're going to take boring to a whole new level. We're going to be masters of boring. You watch, sir.
You will not be disappointed.
He can't handle these levels of how boring it's going to be.
Oh, we're gonna patent it. That's what we're gonna do.
So we've got some of the comic book here, art now, with some lettering in. It's looking not too bad. An overview of the book, or an overview, well, probably more than just the book.
See, that's all the technical stuff for the backer if they want more information.
Yeah.
So the real meat of the page is the first 10 pages of the book that I posted. So
Ooh.
yes, I figured, you know what? If people are going to back this book, I want them to see, some of the interior art and get an idea of how the story starts.
Yeah.
That way they can decide right then and there if they really want to back it or not.
Lorenzo says, "Is it true that Drake doesn't like being called a duck?"
That is absolutely correct, Lorenzo. Drake is a beast citizen. The D word is offensive to him. We do not want to limit him by labels and names. We want to see his growth and potential without the limitations of labels.
Cool. How many pages is it?
So tentatively between 120 and 130.
Okay, that's good for sure. And yeah, everybody's seen these first 10 pages here. Is there anything after the 10 pages?
You got a couple more pages after these first 10. The artwork will probably be updated a little bit because I started off with the black, white, and some gray tone in there. And then what happened was one day I sat down with George Peter Gatz, is the creator of Joe King, by the way, who's currently got the mailing list open for that. And I asked him, what can I do to enhance the black and white? How can I give it some more dynamic vibrancy? So he suggested, working with levels of black shading and white shading, and then to me it gives it a more 3D look. And I've been playing around with that a little bit, and I feel like it's enhanced it more.
Yeah, giving it some gray tones to enhance it, basically.
Yes. So this page right now that you're looking at, it's going to go through that process. It hasn't gone through it yet, but you're going to see that page specifically go through that process.
Cool. And you got stuff here about the shipping information.
Yeah, so as far as the shipping is concerned, I'll make sure that it's properly boarded and packed, and then every backer will get a tracking number, so they'll know when their stuff is coming.
Cool. Stuff about comic books being part of the American fabric. Okay, so let's go up to the top here. What can you tell us about Drake himself that people may or may not know because of listening to your broadcast?
So as far as Drake, the personality, I've given him Dwayne Johnson's personality. So he's got that like wisecrack, Weisenheimer approach. So you put that personality with Hokuto no Ken, and that's pretty much what you have. You have that like Mad Max, a smarmy character. So try to make the book humorous and funny where it needs to be, because it's an absurd premise. Let's be honest, it's an absurd premise. It's silly, it's sublime. So I figured let me have fun with that. Let's have fun with that premise and just make it so crazy, so wild that the reader will be in on the joke. And I want to make this book as funny, as fun as possible. Testify AC says yawn. Sir, like I said, we're going to make this boring. This is going to be a boring-ass stream. If you weren't bored before, we'll make it boring now. By the way, Testify has an excellent campaign out with wristbands. It's called What Would Testify Do? So at some point, you guys want to check it out. But yeah, he's got these amazing wristbands. And all proceeds to that wristband are going to the Wheelchair Society to help the cripples.
Cool. Okay, so Skullkill is the name of the city that he lives in?
Yep, Skullkill.
Okay,
It's a fictional city, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was being confused with the actual Skullkill.
No,
But I'll know
no,
now. I'll know.
I don't want to dox its citizens. So just so you know, all similarities are coincidental, living and dead.
And would Skullkill supposed to be in the United States, I guess?
Yep.
Or, Street Warriors. Okay, Okay, so he's going up against just, I guess, just regular Street Warrior punks type that? Or is there a big boss guy that we eventually.
So the main villain is the Crimson, and he's the leader of a network of gangs. And each gang, the gangs are themselves have like unique abilities. Like I said, it's sublime, it's surreal, it's absurd, it's fun. So basically, what I'm saying to the reader is, don't take it seriously. It's a fun book. It's meant to be fun.
Okay, that's good. Trying to think of. Okay, what can you tell us about some of the gangs he might face? Some of the powers they might have or abilities. Maybe without giving too much away, of course.
Abilities include saying people's names right. So Evan Hotep in the chat continues to call me Hazmat. Now, there are people in this country named Hazmat who will be offended by my presence because I'm not Hazmat. I'm a Lazmat. So out of respect to those people named Hazmat, please understand my name is a Lazmat. And I'm very, very curious and concerned for your question. So may I understand and know this question that you're bringing to me? Because, he says, what are my thoughts on banana bread? Excellent question. I love that question. So banana bread has its place in our society. I think homemade banana bread is the way to go. I've tried my local supermarket's banana bread. On a given day, it's actually good, but other days it's kind of flat. So it's like a hit or miss. You can't go wrong with homemade banana bread. I encourage everybody, especially the eligible bachelors who are trying to be the top-notch red-pilled men for their respective hoes out there, make your own banana bread. You cannot go wrong with that.
Well, I would extend that to making your own bread, period.
I would say grow your own. I say grow your own wheat. Have
if you can do it from the beginning to end, oof.
Fuck it, marry your own Amish girl. Marry your own Amish girl. You can't go wrong with that.
Mallet says he's not a fan of banana bread. I like banana bread.
Disavowed.
Especially when you have it inside the banana pudding afterwards too.
Absolutely. Hell, you know what? Exactly.
Can you think of any questions, Mallet, for the book itself before we dive into some of the stuff on the side?
Well, Evan Hotep accepts my answer. I appreciate it, Evan. I think you and I can get along really good. He's going to leave you guys a thumbs up, but he's going to unsubscribe, so he's giving you like 50%. So he's not going all the way in.
And he'll be back.
I suggest, sir, going all the way in, because once you're in, there's no coming back out, and you're going full force.
For sure.
Full force is the way to go, I think.
Oh, wait, I do have a question. Because I scroll down to the bottom and I see this panel with two chicks, scantily clad, trying to tear each other's hair out.
Hold on. Scroll down. So we have context to the question.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
It's all the way at the bottom.
Yes,
you can just drag down. There you go.
Awesome. There you go. Right there. Go up. Go up a little bit.
So clearly there's going to be a lot of action in here. Yep. Is it mostly just following Drake, or in kind of like that 80s action flick sort of way, you juggle the story around with some of the supporting characters and stuff as well?
So yeah, there is a supporting group of characters in the story. So this female here with her head bent backwards, that's Pumpkin Warpatch. She and Drake are friends, or more or less like family, more or less. So she takes up her own mantle and helps join in the fight as well. So we do have a little, sex appeal in the story.
Cool.
You gotta have that sex appeal. That's what sells.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Violence and sex. And be citizens. Now, you know what I'm thinking about? Now that I've been on the show, now I'm inspired to have a special tier on how to make your own banana bread. I think if you make your own banana bread and sit down and read this book, you'd have a hell of a night.
Oh, definitely.
And you'll save money on going to a strip bar. Trust me, this is much cheaper.
Okay, unless I'm gonna, start going over. Is that, no.
So that is a street. Okay, so let me put this out there right now. Oh, yep. I didn't do it. That wasn't me.
No, that was me. Hey, I opened. I thought there was more to opening up, but I was wrong. That's why I clicked back really fast.
Yes. So what I was gonna say was, I am $40 shy of $2,000, which is the first stretch goal. That stretch goal will get the backers an ash can with Roadwarrior Drake versus Simon Simpotier's Vincent from Bloodhunt. We'll get an ash can.
Is that already drawn, or did they?
It's halfway done, because the battle started on Twitter. So Simon and I had a back and forth on Twitter with our characters. So it's going to carry over to the completion in the ash can.
Okay. And how big's the ash can?
It's going to be short, like a few pages here or there. But again, it's a gift to the backers, so you're not spending anything extra.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking that way they know.
Of course.
Okay, so the featured perk is the Street Champion package. You get 3 covers plus the manga, 4 books at a discount price of $90.
Yeah, 4 books. Now 4 books. Now here's the thing. Okay, now this is for whoever's watching a show. If whoever backs that tier right now, if you back that tier now and you get me to $2,000, not only are you going to get the ash can in addition to that, but I'm going to throw in a free coloring activity book, which is a separate story featuring Roadwarrior Drake. And that story in the coloring book explains how Drake has all these crossovers with multiple characters and multiple timelines. So,
and that's just for the next backer who backs you, who gets you to that 40 or to the $2,000. Basically.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay, so and you get the graphic novel Roadwarrior Drake, Peter Gilmore variant cover, and the Vic King variant cover.
Yes.
So that's good. Okay, so it says 3 covers plus the manga, 4 books. What
Correct.
are the 4? Oh, what are the 4 there? Okay.
So basically, it's the same story, but you get 3 different covers. So if you have somebody who you want to give a gift to, you give an extra book. You can keep one as a keepsake while you destroy the other one with reading it. And then,
I guess this is the Roadwarrior Drake manga. Is that different than the variant covers, or?
It's the manga sized version of the book with it's gonna be read from right to left, and there's gonna be some slight alterations to the art to reflect the more manga style.
Okay. So basically,
now I offer the manga. Yeah, so I offer the manga as a separate tier as well. So try and get my hand wet with manga to kind of appeal to that crowd.
Oh, see, now you're talking my language.
Oh, there you go. You know what? Scroll down, my man. You're going to see the manga. Well, I don't have examples of the manga version yet because I'm actually just editing the pages to reflect the reading style of the manga. I just got to update the artwork a little bit. But once I get some of that done, I'm going to post that on the Indiegogo page. Yeah. How the manga is going to look. But yeah, if you like manga, hey, go for it.
Up next is a digital version of the book for $20 US, and this is over 100 pages. So
yeah, and one thing I had to add, I actually put it on the Indiegogo page itself. But whoever gets this digital tier, you get both the US version and the manga version, so you get 2 books for the price of 1 here.
Okay, so yeah, that's good. With this tier, you get the digital copy of the book if you want to save on shipping and printing charges.
Exactly, and this is a good tier for the international backers.
Yeah. Any idea what your shipping costs are for local, for in the U.S. and then for international?
Yeah. So for local, if this is like the 1 book, it'll be like $10 for shipping. Again, that's going to include the packing, the tracking numbers. I'm going to try to make sure it's packed reasonably well so that you're not going to get a crumped up, damaged book. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of that on Twitter lately, so I don't want that to happen to my backers. So I'll make sure that if I have to buy bubble wrap and then put that in the bubble wrap with the Gemini mailers or other forms of boxing material, that's what I'll do.
Sounds good. So you can get the graphic novel here for $25 plus shipping of about $10 US. Oh, any idea on the cost for international, or is it going to vary? Will it vary much?
So So international for the 1 book would be $20. I'm prepared to go out of pocket if it's like a few dollars over for shipping. So that will not be the backer's problem. That'll be my problem. I'll handle that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, $20 US or $25 US for the graphic novel, which is over 100 pages. I think it said between 130.
Between 120 and 130.
Okay, so up next is the manga for $25. Is that the same size?
So it'll be like the 5.5 by 7 ratio.
No, I mean for pages.
Yeah. Page number could be the same.
Okay. So, yeah, that's not too bad of a deal for both of them. Well, $25 individually for over 100
Well, if you get
pages.
if you get both books, there's a tier for that. It'll be $40, so you'll actually save money if you get that tier for both books.
Yeah. The Draco Grestiera.
So that's the Spanish version. Yeah, that's the Spanish version. We had a YouTube channel, CG Latino, where they was trying to, appeal to the Spanish crowd. So I figured let me just do a Spanish tier, see if anybody will back it. As you can see, nobody's backed it yet, but I'm expecting this to go to in demand, so I'll still have time to kind of attract that audience if they're interested.
Yeah. So up next is the Vic King cover.
Now that we see there is an unfinished version. He's supposed to have unveiled it today, I think, the complete version. So I will see if he has it ready. But once I get the completed cover, I'm gonna post it on the page.
Oh, that sounds good. Well, it's black and white, so I was gonna ask whether it's gonna be colored or not, but I guess not. Right?
It'll be colored.
Okay.
It's gonna be colored. And if Vic doesn't do the
Go ahead.
Hello. I was just gonna say, if Vic doesn't do the coloring, I'm gonna have Rosetta Allen do the coloring.
Cool. So, and again, that's $25 US, and the Peter Gilmore variant, which looks good there. You can actually see the cover, and again, that's $30 US.
Yeah,
So,
the Peter King variant will be available only in the US version and limited supply of that one.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, only 100 there. So, be one of the 100, only 100 people to get that.
Yep. Because I feel that if we go to the 101, there's going to be an imbalance in the force. And I can see the floods happening, mountains will collapse, satellites will come crashing to the earth. It could be a disaster. So I'm trying to save us all by keeping it to 100.
Technically, you could actually end up with more than 100 because you have this in the featured one.
That's a good point.
Ooh, you're playing a dangerous game there.
I know. I'm greedy. He's appealing to my greed right now. This is not good. Humanity is going to suffer because of my greed. But I'll be singing to the bank. So,
But,
Yeah, we're going to suffer anyway.
Good point, yes.
Mother, right now is not the time to be putting my links in the chat.
That's okay. I put the Indiegogo link in there for anybody who doesn't bother to look down into the description.
Yeah.
That would be me, actually. I'm guilty of that.
A lot of people are. That's why I make sure that we put them in there.
Yeah. I've got the link to your Twitter in there, the link to your book in there, and I'm not sure what else. Not sure whether there is anything. Well, there probably is a couple other places. But I usually make sure to try and include the person's Twitter and the Indiegogo stuff in the description for everybody to get at easy enough. Okay, now we got the hardcover edition for $35, which is a pretty good price. Is the shipping on that a little bit more, or?
I believe I have it for 15. I believe because
Okay.
I'm expecting the hardcover to add some weight to it.
Yeah, that's why I asked whether it might be a little bit more. Okay, and we got the standard and the Peter Gilmore cover for $40, which is a good deal. And the standard and the Vic King. And actually, this is actually a real good one. Was it the Vic King one that you were asking $30 for? No,
That's the Peter Gilmore, right?
So actually, that's a very good price. You're only paying $10 more. It's not even like 15 or whatever. You're only $10 more for both of them.
Yep, exactly.
And then of course we got the Vic King, which is you're saving $10. And the manga, the graphic plus the manga for $40. You're doing pretty good. With what's your highest tier? $90. That's not too bad. Do you have any? I was gonna say, do you have any of the original artwork, Or who are you? The artist, writer? There's a question too.
So yeah, I'm the artist, the writer, the marketer. I'm pretty much wearing all the hats, but I am consulting with other people, other artists and writers for feedback. I've had some people tell me because the book originally was 160 pages, so I had some people look at it and they said you should bring it down because some of it is repetitive. So on their advice and suggestion, I said okay, I'll bring it down. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna turn my camera on for just a second. Am I showing right now? I don't see.
No, I got it.
Yeah, there you are.
Well, you're showing in there.
Okay, so I just wanted to see if I'm there because I want to show you the artwork, the original, at least the paper version of it. So I don't know if you guys can see me. I don't see me. So
you just get stuck in the little corner up there.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so it's weird because I have to look at the YouTube link to see the stream properly. So
yeah.
Oh no, I'm not there now. Okay, yeah, okay. So this right here is the original artwork. Now it goes to a couple stages. I pencil it, I ink it, and then once I scan it in, I add more ink to it. I add the shading and refine it. So there is artwork which I think will have some more prestige once the book has any real traction, once it gets to the hands of the readers. Yeah. Now I'm definitely guaranteeing a complete book. You guys are going to get a book for 110%. There's no denying that. It's silly that I got to put that out there, but there's been a lot of unfulfilled campaigns, a lot of shenanigans, and all that stuff. Yeah. So you're definitely getting a book for 110%. I have all the pages done. I'm just updating the artwork to reflect the more updated style to it. So
Well, the main reason I asked was more because I thought you might have been able to put an artwork tier, some of the original artwork,
I thought about that. Yeah, I thought about that. I did think about that. I think for the second book and having some pages of the first book, second book as an art tier, I think the book itself has to be established. I think more people have to read it, and really the reviews have to be put out there. The character's name and all that stuff has to be put out there.
Yeah.
For the art, I think to take off. So
so
that's kind of my long-term plan.
You get even more money after it's been established. You just sell off the pages individually on eBay or an Etsy store.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing I might suggest too is maybe if you an original sketch, the book with an original sketch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that. I have thought about those. I look into that. I just feel like okay. So I feel like for this campaign, I want to focus on the books. This is my first real legit successful campaign because I ran it back in September. Fell short of my goal. Indiegogo cut my campaign short. I had to regroup, and after listening to a lot of feedback and retooling the campaign plan, I met my goal and more. Now, obviously, I wanted to have a little more, but I'm not complaining because I think where I'm at right now, I quadrupled my original goal back in September. So all the hard work and all the planning paid off. But I wanted to keep it on the books, focus on the books, so that I can fulfill the books and really make sure that all the tiers are fulfilled. Back in September, I promised a set of trading cards. The way things are right now, I'm not going to be able to fulfill the trading cards. So those backers that back the trading card parts of it, I'm going to give them back their money and just focus on the books. And actually, I'm going to throw in the coloring book for them as well. So they're going to get back their money plus an extra item as well. So
yeah. Okay. Dylan has a question. And you got to remember, Dillard's Mexican too. So. He said,
so yes, what kind of... Yes, go ahead.
I was just going to ask the question. It's what you were already read then, so...
What kind of brown person am I? I'm the one that quotes Vanilla Ice. So, brown and white, what that gets you tan. So, I'm of the tan persuasion. I am the tan people. Because I'm brown where it counts, but I quote Vanilla Ice. Anything else I can do, I can quote Marky Mark and Ice and Eminem. But, once in a while, I'll do a little Wu-Tang and Ice Cube. So, I'm the whole gamut with chocolate sprinkles. Or rainbow, depending on the feeling I get at the time.
Cool. And does anybody in the chat have any questions, comments for Matt.
Hey guys, if you want to be that one that walks away with both the ash can and the coloring book, get me to 2,000 right now. As a matter of fact, if there's somebody in the chat that's feeling gamey, back that Street Champion package because that'll get me over 2,000, and you walk away with not just 4 books but 6 books.
Yeah.
The $90, that's to me a steal.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Plus, plus whatever the shipping, because I doubt that's going to be a $10 shipping.
Yeah, but like I said, with regards to shipping, if the shipping for some reason goes over, it comes out of my pocket. So that'll be my problem, not yours.
Yeah.
Your problem is just making sure you get the books that you back.
And it's a good size.
Yeah.
I hate it when people try to charge like $20-$25 for a floppy, but you have like a full graphic novel here that's more than worth what the money you're putting into it.
Yeah, you know what it is? Because I'm a backer too. So like, I'll back a book that looks interesting, it looks fun, and then when I get the book, it's like, okay, it's a decent first act, but I waited a whole year for it, and now I gotta wait another year for the continuing adventures of it. And I feel like, you know what? For my first book, I want to make sure that it's a complete story. So if you have to wait for the second book, you at least got a complete story in the first book, and you've gotten your money's worth.
Lorenzo says maybe his accent's altrusion.
I could be. You know what? I haven't fully vetted my birth certificate, so it's quite possible.
Dylan says, why shame me for charging $60 for a floppy?
Hey, I shame nobody for how much they charge in shipping. I think it's all perspective and relevance. I think you should be allowed to charge however much you want to charge for shipping, man.
I'm going to shame Dillard. I'm going to shame Dillard all day.
I think somewhere in the 17th Amendment of the Constitution, there's a provision for how much you charge for shipping. So I believe Dillard Drawn is protected by the Constitution, and anybody that says otherwise is going to get my ire because I am a constitutionalist.
Actually, Dillard's not talking the $60 for shipping. He's saying for the book itself.
There you go.
Shipping rights. See, he wants $60 for the shipping or more as well.
Well, I believe the customer is right, so I believe he deserves to be charged more than $60.
Yeah,
and Dillard will, if you insult his practice, he will charge you a insolence tax.
Well, you know what? I believe in insolence tax, tolerance tax, and banana bread tax. Get on it.
Shinobi Raccoon says you deserve it, Dillard. To be shamed or to the money? Shinobi, does he deserve the shaming or the money?
Well, the good thing about all this is pizza's still $1.85 a slice in some parts of the country. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can get like a really good extra large pie for like $12 still.
That's incredible.
Yeah, 18-inch for 12. That's great.
You can't beat that, and that is American slice right there.
Lorenzo says some Altrusians are brown people with a golden tint. And
so they got to stick in the stock market. See how that works? We're all tied into the financial market. It's amazing how we just draw our finances like that.
And Shinobi says he deserves the shame. Okay.
I think it deserves both.
The money and the shame?
Yeah, some pizza.
So I guess a question is for everybody. Well, for you, who's your favorite superhero or comic book character?
Ooh, my favorite? I don't know if I have a favorite, but I mean, I would say the obvious, like Batman, Superman, Captain America. But I think I would put Swamp Thing up there. I do like. I love Swamp Thing. I've actually just finished reading Len Wein's Swamp Thing run from the 1970s, so I'm about to dive into Alan Moore's 1980s run. I think he's an underrated character, horribly underused in the DC universe. I did see the Swamp Thing series that the DC streaming channel put out there, and I like the production value. I like how he was treated, but at the same time, I felt like they shortchanged his story.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say I think a good Swamp Thing story is still waiting to be told.
There was a Swamp Thing TV series back in the 80s too, as well. It starred Lee Majors as Swamp Thing, I believe.
Oh, look at that. There you go.
So.
But I agree, definitely a very underused and underappreciated character.
Yes.
Here's Dillard, most likely. Hey, John. John?
Can you not hear me, Rick?
Can hear you now.
All right, fine. Well, I'm here. What do you want? You sent me a link.
I sent everybody in the Cross Comics to a link.
Okay, cool.
So you're all invited, or we're all invited. Not that I think I'm not sure whether all of us could fit on. Maybe we could. With this Google Meet, it looks like it can do more than Google Hangouts. Possibly.
So what are we talking about right now?
We are talking about Street Champion Roadwarrior Drake. We're talking to Alzamat about his book.
What is he a street champion of? Is he like in a underground fighting thing or what?
Well, that is a self-proclaimed title he gives himself.
Those are the best titles.
Of course. So he fights these gangs, these individual characters with weird abilities.
Are they white bikers?
No, I wouldn't say they're white bikers. They're more like just. I would say they're more nomadic. They don't.
I don't know. I'm a really big fan of Duck on White violence.
Bikers are pretty nomadic.
Okay,
well, you know what? If you saw what happened in Sturgis today, I say much love to the bikers.
Well, that was pretty good.
Hold on a sec. Lorenzo, do you want a link? Because he says, how does one get in Cross Comics?
Are you asking me? Is that why you went silent after you asked Lorenzo if he wants a link?
No. I'm asking Lorenzo.
Oh.
Okay.
I forgot what I was talking about now because I was interrupted by Rick.
White on white violence.
You were asking what kind of gangs.
Yeah, what kind of gangs this guy beat up?
Well, they have their own unique abilities. So you get so if you've seen the trailer that was played, they towards the end of the trailer, you get the names of some of the villains in the story. One of them is Steiner, who has kind of like a Frankenstein build, even right down to the bolts on his neck. There's another one called Jack Saul, who's got like a little, not a little, but he's got like a chain with a grapple, not like a I would say grapple.
Oh, maybe. So it's kind of like the what do you call it? What's that movie? That dope ass movie. It's like those Japanese gangs where they all got their own little thing going on. They all, like the Hatchet Gang, and this gang over here is a mutant gang.
Think Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken.
God, I haven't seen that movie since I was like 13.
Yeah. Hokuto no Ken.
What?
お前はもう死んでる。
Hokuto no Ken.
So the Road Warrior Drake, this takes place in the middle of a city, right? It's not like he's a post-apocalyptic thing, right?
Well, actually, it takes place after some bombings in an unnamed war that has decimated the country. So there's like a transitional period of our modern technological world versus a more apocalyptic world where technology becomes scarce and our leisure and comfort has been challenged. So there's like it's like a transitional period in terms of our government from the more bureaucratic style to more barbaric style. Kind of like what we're seeing right now in Portland and Seattle.
All right. And so this Road Warrior guy, he's a good guy though. He likes to beat up bad people only, or he beats up everybody.
No, he'll beat up bad guys, but his motives for beating the bad guys are more selfish. It's more like he just wants to just prove himself. It's not so much about helping people as much as it is just saying, bragging rights. There you go.
Okay, so it's not like he needs like $6. Let me go roll this guy over.
Oh, I don't think $6 can help him out. I don't think he has need for that kind of currency.
Oh, there's no money anymore?
Well, he doesn't use money. He's a B citizen, so he basically he's
somebody climbing into a bag of chips. What is that?
Oh, this is Sour Patches.
Oh, my wife loves those, but she's pregnant. I think that's why.
Oh, there you go.
And we have Lorenzo now on the panel. Hey, Lorenzo.
Oh, now you're gonna get some real hardcore, hard-hitting questions from Lorenzo.
Well, he was pretty good in the chat, so I'm expecting it.
If he figures out how to unmute himself.
Lorenzo, can you hear?
Lorenzo, be better.
Well, the same thing happened to me. He probably didn't notice that when he jumped in, he was auto-muted. So he needs to unclick the red microphone.
Yeah, because I don't think I can unmute him.
He's asking how does he unmute?
Yeah, there's a red microphone on your screen.
Why don't you unmute?
There he goes.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it disappeared. And then I noticed it disappears, and I've only used this once before.
Yeah, that's all right, Lorenzo. There we go. Everybody can see all of us now. Or you guys as you talk.
Oh my goodness, Lorenzo, you came in. You got something to ask or say? Or?
Well, I just was trying to figure out what's going on.
Not much. We're talking to.
Oh no! I'm just trying to figure out this program.
Oh, okay.
I don't blame him. Yeah, I don't blame him. This is the first time I'm figuring this out too. So this kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's something I went to. Google Hangouts isn't working right in my Chrome, so I grabbed the link for Google Hangouts about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and put it in my Firefox thing, and Goop Meet, this came up, so I'm like, what the? And now I'm using it, so.
Yeah, this, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
This Meet program seems like it could be a pretty good thing. I guess it's their replacement for Hangouts?
Well, Hangouts is still around, but, you know, it's what I'm using. You know, everybody's using a little different thing, you know. I was using...
you suck, Rick. Stop using weird stuff.
Weird is good.
Yes. Shinobi said, welcome to another edition of the Thunderdome Road Warrior Guko. And it says, Lorenzo, are you there? I think that is a yes. He is here. So, you got any questions for Alzamat for his book, Lorenzo?
I think he's muted again.
Yeah.
I'm in the other room. I came back. What were you saying?
I said, do you have any questions for Alzamat about his book?
Oh, not right this second.
Oh, okay.
I like him. He's a daring man. He came on. He didn't have any questions, but he said, "Fuck it, I'm still coming on." I like it.
Yeah,
I'll have some eventually.
Yeah, I'll have some money. Don't worry. You know,
Oh, no, this is great.
When he's explaining things, then it's like, well, then I have a question. And
Oh,
the more he talks about when he's actually talking about the book.
See, that's normal.
I come up with questions about it.
Yes. See, when I explain things, people have questions because I either talk fast or I mumble or what have you. So that's normal. So.
Oh well, there's a lot of.
This is basically
so much. I think detail to the book too. I think so. There's so many different like plot elements that you were talking about, right?
Well,
you were talking about like bikers a few minutes ago.
Well, they brought up bikers because they was asking if there were bikers in the story, but no, there's no bikers. But there's a lot of gang characters in the story. You know, it's not just Drake. There's a lot of characters, a lot of villains, some heroes. You know, I want to build the world surrounding Road Warrior Drake so that it's not just him; it's how he responds to the world around him and how the world around him responds to him.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's how it should be. You know, it seems like a lot of times there's these kind of flat characters, and
yeah,
you know, it's really hard for the reader to engage with the story if they're.
You're absolutely right, and it's hard because when you get those like 20-page floppies, you crowdfund those, and then you gotta wait like a year for the second one, and it's like, again, I mentioned like some of these floppies read like okay or decent first acts, but you don't get much in terms of not just character development, but relationship between the character and the world surrounding them. So I was like, you know what? That's something that I want to explore in my book, and I want the reader to experience that as well.
We got Art of Reed here in the chat, and he says, "Hey, gang," and hello back to you, Art of Reed.
Oh, hey, Willie.
Anybody else on the panel got any questions, comments about the book? Or are we just going to talk to talk?
I thought that you were actually going to, take this seriously, Rick. You said last time that we were on here, and you also ran out of questions last time, that you were going to look up questions.
I'm trying to. I asked a bunch near the beginning.
I will admit the Vanilla Ice question threw me for a loop because I wasn't prepared for that, and I feel like I didn't come with my best A game. So next time when I come on a panel, I'll make sure to be prepared when they ask, "Why did I quote Vanilla Ice?" I'll have a great answer for that.
So what you should do...
Vanilla Ice is a very polarizing character. Dropping names like that and quotes from Vanilla Ice, it's going to alienate a lot of people.
You should come up with your own questions.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and then you won't be surprised by anybody's questions.
That's an excellent point. That's proactiveness. You're right. I didn't consider that.
You got to be proactive on Rick's channel because he's going to let you down every time.
I promise next time I'll be really prepared.
I'm sorry, Rick. I can't exactly be 100% right now because I'm working on a Buckler page. So
yeah, no problem, John. Hey, everybody on here just talking, is good too. Talking about this, that, the other thing. That's a way of getting to know the guy behind the book as well. Just having a good chit chat.
Well, that's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in is the story and the world of the Road Warrior Street Champion Drake.
Ask if we could steer this back into fleshing out the city he's in more. Because I'm getting serious, like, Mad Max meets Escape from New York kind of vibes with the town he's in.
Okay, so in the town of Skullkill, there's only one police precinct. And they're the last precinct in that specific area. Now, if you want to... Now, I didn't mean for this to happen, but if you want to tie it to current events, and you get, like, the calls for defund the police, what have you, it's that same kind of anarchical environment that is inhabited in Skullkill. So you get the police department probably on its last legs with the rise of the Street Warriors and the rise of the Crimson, as well as having to explore or trying to research who Road Warrior Drake is. So it becomes an overwhelming battle for the police department here. Will they survive the onslaught? Well, you have to read the book to find out. But I will say, what we're seeing today in our world, especially in Portland and Seattle, kind of mirrors what happens in the book in some ways.
And that's kind of eerie.
And it's funny because I didn't.
So what kind of a power set are we talking about for the Road Warrior Drake here? I mean, is every situation he comes across, how does he handle it? Can he get shot and die, or what's up with him?
Good question. Okay, so he's strong. He has like near Hulk physical brute force, but he can get shot. He can get cut if the weapon is powerful enough. He uses his brains at some point to figure that out. How does he dodge bullets? How does he deflect projectiles and what have you? So that is something that is addressed in the book. And there's another ability that Drake himself is not even aware of, and it involves his blood. I won't say what it is. You'll have to read the book to find out.
Cool.
Yeah, so you're setting up a level.
Now, there is something about a duck that I found interesting. A while back, I was doing some research on ducks because I wanted to have a couple of miniature drakes and mallards and stuff, on the property here.
Is it that they have corkscrew penises?
The corkscrew penises on a duck, does that take any kind of influence on the story itself?
Sir, you're assuming the character's identity, and that's not right. He's not a duck. That question is irrelevant to his presence. We're gonna have to talk about some proper tolerant classes because you are imposing and assuming his identity.
But does he have a corkscrew penis?
I didn't check his pants. I don't know.
And I don't think we want you to check it.
Now, just the mere thought of this being a woman character already got me disinterested. How are you going to get me back interested in this book?
Well, he's definitely male. I just know what kind of cock he has. I didn't think about that one. I just know he has a cock, and if he wanted to, he could procreate, but he can't because you're a beast citizen surrounded by human beings. That's not so. Oh, he's not into bestiality. So, if you ask him, the answer is a strict no.
So he only likes the human ladies.
No. He doesn't like humans at all. He's not into bestiality. He would if he could with his own species, but that's not something that has been explored in this book
So
yet.
there's an entire species of humanoid ducks.
Well, he's not a duck. That's it. You keep throwing that in there, and it's like I have to.
So he's a platypus.
We don't know. That'll be explored in the third
word again.
For now, I do know he's not the D word. We don't want to impose his identity.
Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world by far, and I think Metal can attest to that.
Yeah,
but this guy's face looks like a duck to me. I don't know what's going on.
Sir, if I were to pick out a human being that has certain kind of let me see, who could I pick out from?
Are you telling me this character is an Aborigine?
I listen. Even I don't know. I had to figure out who he is. I got to sit down with him one day and really get the answer out of him.
Hey, John, I think he's ducking the question.
Rick, I would kick you off this show if I could.
How is it that he identifies again? Not the word.
He, him.
Well, he's definitely male.
He identifies as a wisecrack.
Yeah. What does that mean?
American, like, is there like a hyphenated word or?
No. He's a beast citizen. He at some point he has to embrace the human community because he is among the humans, but he is American. He just refers to himself as the beast citizen.
Well, what is it? You said that kind of quickly.
Oh, so he refers to himself as the beast citizen.
The beast citizen. Okay, that's the proper term.
There you go. Yes,
because that's how he self-identifies. And remember, everybody, it's based on lived experience.
That's a very good point.
Mrs. Dillard said earlier.
People self-identify nowadays.
Mrs. Dillard said earlier this conversation has taken twists and turns for the worst.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Twists and turns like a duck's corkscrew penis trying to navigate the labyrinth vagina of a female duck.
Now, Dillard Rose, I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna have to really question your experiences because you're very detailed with that one.
Yeah, she was the one that put me onto this.
Oh, touche.
I had no idea about this, the abomination between the duck's legs until she brought it to my attention.
Well, I do know that ducks are considered rapists, but that's irrelevant to Roadwarrior Drake because he's neither.
He's not a rapist. What kind of a post-apocalyptic story is this?
This is a sublime, surreal, absurd book. You'll enjoy it. It's fun.
We do know this is a Christian channel, right?
I just read your Twitter account, so I just realized, you know what? Yes, it is. And I am a Christian too, so don't get me wrong. I'm a creationist and all that stuff. I get it. But, you know, we are talking about a B citizen. So, you know, at this point, we've kind of crossed the path past normalcy. So.
Yeah. I know. I'm just joking. They joke about the chat sometimes jokes about things like that one. We get into.
No, Lorenzo has a good question here. What sort of religious practices does Drake have?
So that's a good question. I try to keep the book apolitical and what have you, so that I don't, I try to appeal to a broader audience. But there is a page in the book where Drake references, I might be spoiling a little bit, but let's just say, actually, I'll just show it to you. Hold on. So it involves a character that Drake that passes on, and Drake references the cross, and he references how the cross has a meaning for the person in particular that has passed. Actually, you know what? I don't know how to use a screen share in this Google Meet thing.
It says present now.
Hold on. Let me hold on. Present now? This is all alien to me. Here we go. Present now. Got it. Okay.
Give me a sec. I need to make sure it's on you. I have it on.
Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this.
I can see it just fine.
Okay. So
nice.
Okay, so now again, I gotta add the shading on this page. So this is more not complete yet, but you can see that the cross is on the top panel, and then Drake references.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Drake makes a reference to the cross, how it has a meaning for humans. So I mean, that's not something that I can deny as a Christian, but
So I'm trying to read this right now, but I'm having a hard time figuring out what voice in my head I should use. What does his voice sound like?
So picture Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Not a problem.
Kind of like this voice. A little more exaggerated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So just like that.
Does that voice quack you up, Dillard?
Rick, your audio's quality is not good enough to do puns. All right, now I was born, raised a Catholic, and I went to Palm Sunday, and they make you tie together these little palm crosses out of the strings from the palm leaves and stuff. That's not easy to do a little to tie a knot to make two sticks fit together perfectly.
Yeah, I've seen those palms. Listen, that's a skill.
And I don't know if this what is this cross made out of? Is it made out of sticks?
Possibly.
Possibly. Who drew this?
I did.
Oh, well, you would know. What?
Well, I haven't thought about that when I drew it, so I would say 2 wooden sticks that he picked out of the ground.
And he's putting this on a site where someone died, or someone buried here, or what is? Or is he just musing?
No, he buried somebody, and in honor of that person he's buried, he made the cross because, as he says up in the upper corner, he says, "You once told me the cross meant something. Not much of a carpenter, but I think I didn't do a shabby job with making this one for you."
He says, "I'm used to being alone, but then in the back of my mind, I knew you were always around, Levitz. So why the hell do I feel this way? My thoughts should be filled with fire and brimstone and vengeance against the Crimson. My candied ass, though, is hesitating." I like this dialogue, this internal monologue.
Oh, thank you.
Rebel Gaming's in the chat and says, "Word, hey Rebel, how are you doing today?"
Oh, and I guess appropriate would be word to your mother.
Is the Crimson?
Since we're quoting Vanilla Ice around here,
is that like a big threat or just like the first threat?
I missed the first part of the question.
Oh, the Crimson.
So Crimson,
the
Crimson is the main villain. He oversees all the Street Warriors. He oversees the production and the distribution of a drug called Romerum, nicknamed Sparkplug. That's his brainchild, and he manufactures it for mind control.
Cool. Or not so cool, I guess. Mind controlling people is not necessarily a good thing.
Makes for a good comic book story. We'll say it like that.
Yeah.
It's contextually cool.
Yes.
Thanks for
yes.
closing down the conversation like that, Rick.
And for those that really want, some like nice street justice, some nice street vengeance, let me open up. Let me share this page with you. Present now. A window. Here we go. Okay, so there's a group in the story called Opona, which is modeled after Antifa. Now, mind you, again, I did the writing for this 2 years ago, so this is before all this stuff with Antifa really became a thing. But I wanted to do a mock group called Opona in the book, which stands for Oppose Nazis. I know it's very witty. So here they confront Drake, who they confuse for some white dude who's an oppressor. So they throw rocks at him. They try to, attack him because they accuse him of murdering one of the street gangs, the Street Warriors, who is viewed as a martyr by Opona. So Drake, having had enough of their nonsense, kicks a fire hydrant, splashes him with water, and then boom, you got a little bit of that. And then he confronts him again later on in the story. I won't spoil that, but let's say it's a little satisfying, and it reveals the mindset of these cowards. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is cool. It reminds me of like the Warriors, where he's just on a constant ass kicking campaign against a bunch of different crazy games.
There you go. Exactly. That's what it is.
Rick, are you familiar with the film The Warriors?
Not sure.
Did you walk outside?
No, I did not walk outside. I went, I'm not sure. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
I think we lost Rick.
No? Hello?
Went outside to go check something on her. You should take over, Metal, while Rick's gone.
Ha ha ha. You're super funny.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Warriors. It's a good movie.
It's all right.
I wouldn't say it's like the best movie from its time, but it's definitely very iconic and memorable.
Well, that's the thing. The memory of the movie is way better than the movie itself.
Yeah, that's a great point because it is iconic. Personally, I didn't care for the movie. I thought if I had my way, I'd make it a bit more surreal, a little more fun in some parts. But
yeah,
I wasn't a big fan of the movie. I'll put it like that. But I recognize that it has its place in pop culture, so it's beyond my own a like for it or not care for it. However you want to put it.
That's how I would put it.
Yeah.
I'd probably agree.
So now in this story, there's I don't want you to try to give away too much, but this is my job here. I'm trying to understand with questions.
Sure.
But if you were to compare him, like not him as a character, but if you were to compare his journey, what popular franchise or something that we would know would be closest resembling to it?
Good question. Off the top of my head, I would have to say, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'll put this one. I'll compare this one. Have you ever seen High Noon with Gary Cooper?
I have not.
Okay, so High Noon was one of those like really game-changing westerns. Before High Noon, all the westerns, the good guys wore white and the bad guys were black. Well, High Noon was the first hot western where the good guy wore black. But he came into a town and a town that he didn't ask to be a part of, but he also inherited the town's fights, and it became a journey for himself to become the hero the town needed, and that's what he ended up being. I would say it's similar to Drake, where just like Gary Cooper's character, the people didn't really appreciate him. They feared him, or they just didn't, they were uncomfortable siding with him. So it's like a hero's journey, but a loner journey. But he wins out the people, or that is the expected outcome, more or less. But I would think it's kind of like that. Carries the fight, takes on the fight, realizes the fight is bigger than he thought, regroups, retools, rebrands, and comes back stronger than ever to take on the fight that he was meant to take on.
That's fantastic, but why is he meant to take on this fight? Where does he come from? Did he just show up one day, 6'4", 275 pounds, or is this something that did this bad guy, did he kill his family when he was a youngster? Or?
Okay, so he was raised by a man who, a doctor raised him, but this doctor he was in charge of this like experiment where he finds these rare plants outside of the city limits of Skullkill, and the elements from these plants actually had healing powers that were able to treat or even not only cure sicknesses, but for those people that were exposed to it, they would actually enhance their abilities. They would enhance their strength or their powers or whatever skills they have. So in the outskirts of Skullkill, where this doctor was looking for these plants, he finds the young Drake, loaded by himself, no family or nothing. So he takes him on as his own, raises him in this manufactured environment where he was researching these plants. And there's this experiment called Operation Eden, where he takes these kids that have all kinds of sicknesses and disorders, and these kids grow up in this manufactured environment with these plants. And the doctor notices these kids become more potent, more healthier, but it also enhances certain abilities. In Dre's case, it enhances his physical strength and in other abilities as well. So while he's raising these kids and Drake has his own, that's when the war happens and the bombs drop, and then the feds start taking over and they raid these factories, and then some of these kids end up being killed because the street warriors are peddling their drug Romerum, and these kids take these drugs and it messes with the system and they end up dying.
Wait, Romerum? Do they come back as zombies?
Good question. That's exactly. They don't come back as zombies, but they become like zombies. They fall into a trance, and then they become violent at a trigger. A trigger causes them to become violent, and they attack Drake at some point in the story. So Drake's mission starts off as a mission of vengeance, because some of his kids he grew up, he considered them his friends. So he blamed the street warriors for that. So his first battles are that of vengeance and bloodlust. But at some point, he begins to understand it's more about saving the people who are afraid of him and becoming a guardian and protector and establishing Skullkill as his town, his domain.
Cool.
He finds a love for the city.
Exactly.
So you're saying that the scientist finds him. Has he been mutated by these flowers or something?
Well, that's okay. So his exact origin isn't explored, and the reason why is because, as the doctor tells Drake, how you came here is not the question. The question is, why are you here?
Yeah, Rick, he's not a duck that got mutated. How many times we gotta tell you?
I never said nothing about no duck.
It's not Secret of the Ooze style over here.
So, personality-wise, the way you described him kind of reminds me of the story of a hobo with a shotgun. How he kind of like really didn't care for the city at first until he got to know that lady, and then he started going on that vigilante spree.
Yeah, so once he starts understanding human beings, and once he gets into a part where he's retrained, he understands it's best to adopt these people as his own, and the city and the town as his own home.
So, would he think of himself like one of a kind, like there's no others like him out there as far as he knows?
He just thinks of himself as the best. His mindset is, I'm the best here. So.
Okay, but what I mean, like, he would obviously see that he doesn't look like everybody around him.
Well, here's the thing.
That taken any toll on him? Or
no, he doesn't let it.
Okay.
I mean, why would he want to be like everyone else anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah, personality-wise, yeah. Sometimes it's nice to fit in with looking similar to everybody. But then again, he's got 2 arms, 2 legs, right? So
he's just looking at himself as the best.
So if he's this cocky guy, why should I like him? What is likable about him?
Well, this is where some stories miss the plot. This is where the whole Mary Sue, Gary Stu thing is a problem. They're afraid for the characters to fail. They're afraid for the characters to go through a period where they make a mistake, it costs them something, and they have to regroup. So, do you like him at first? You probably won't. But that's because when you're arrogant and you're cocky, it takes a fall for you to regain a sense of common decency or common courtesy or common sense or whatever the case is, and figure out, okay, where did I go wrong and how do I recoup? And that's where we start to relate to the character.
Is it his arrogance that causes this fall?
You could say that. You could say his arrogance, his cocky attitude, his lack of taking certain things seriously. I won't say exactly what happens, but he underestimates a particular situation, and it costs him dearly, and he has to regroup.
Okay. I won't pester you anymore.
Yeah, so you're implying there's this little thing that's important to stories called character development?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, it's hard sometimes for a writer to have their character fail, but it's necessary because it's through, like Yoda says, through failure where we learn. So.
Okay, seeing a character named here, I think it's a character, Jacksaw. What can we know about Jacksaw?
So Jacksaw, he's one of the Street Warriors. He's one of the characters that Drake fights, and there is actually, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a subplot regarding Jacksaw and what happens with Jacksaw that ties into Epona's actions. I'll leave it like that.
Okay. What about Brombones?
Brombones McGillicuddy. He's another Street Warrior. Yeah, so all these characters, they have their own abilities, their own little perkiness to it. I won't say too much. I want you to experience it for yourself. But yeah, so you have Brombones McGillicuddy. Cold Feet is another character. He has Cold Feet's ability is he's able to slice your skin with his fingertips. There's one scene in particular.
So these are all like boss fights almost, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ninja Scroll, where he comes across the bee guy and the snake lady and that kind of thing.
Yes. You could look at it like that. You could look at it as like a Street Fighter kind of thing. So yeah, absolutely.
I can't look at it two ways. I'll get cross-eyed.
We got George
Brought
Peter.
in your mind.
We got George Peter Gatsis in the chat and saying hello to him out there.
Hail Blue Muppet. Yep.
Yeah. He says greetings all. Yeah. So I guess what are any names of bosses that he fights with powers? Obviously, don't tell us much about the fights.
Well, the fights can be they're weird, but I promise a lot of brawling, a lot of punches, a lot of blood spilled. It's action packed.
Yeah, but
it's a comic book, so you want to be as exaggerated as possible.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm not so much, I guess, worried about trying to go into the fights, but some of the bosses that he has to fight, like Jacksaw or whatever, and Powers. Are there just those like these 3 or 4 guys, or are there more besides Crimson and Jacksaw, Brombones, and Cold, the Cold one that you mentioned?
Yeah, Kofi. Yeah.
Are there more?
Yeah, there's a few others actually. Yeah, there's a whole army of various people that serve under these men.
Yeah.
These are their own specific gangs, so you'll see a lot of other characters, a lot of because you have to have your red shirts. So. Yeah,
well, I'm not talking so much about the red shirts. I'm talking the guys over the red shirts. Are there?
So yeah, those are the main villains, and then above them is the Crimson.
Okay. So, anybody in the chat got any questions or comments for Alsmat? I pronounced it wrong again, didn't I? Alsmat?
It's a Lasmat, but I don't even care. It's fine. At this point, you can call me Sebastian, and I won't even correct you, so it's good.
Okay, Sebastian.
You're probably just calling Al. I'm sure that works.
That's the safe space route. So
yeah.
Yes.
What? How come I can't call you Mr. Martinez?
Well, you could, but
Are you ashamed of your beautiful brown skin?
Absolutely not. I make chocolate with this brown skin with a little bit of caramel on the side.
I don't need to know about all that.
I know somebody with named Martinez up here in Canada. They go to my church.
It's a very common name.
Yeah, I was going to say, I doubt any relation.
Well, yeah, but Martinez is kind of common. That is true.
Where are you from? Martinez.
Well, I'm actually originally from New York City.
I feel like a baseball coach calling somebody by their last name.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I'm from New York City. I've since moved out of there in nick of time, obviously.
Are you a Rican?
No, I'm a Colombian, but I was born in New York, so that makes me an American. But I happen to be of Colombian descent. My parents are from Colombia.
Ashamed of his Colombian.
Absolutely not. I just happen to fuck it. Never mind.
I'm trying to be PC here. I got called out last time for not being PC enough.
Oh, I'm very on PC, so don't worry. I don't even try to. I just say
you out.
Martinez here called me out for assuming the gender of a duck.
No, not for assuming the gender of the duck. For assuming his identity as a duck. See, you got me saying the word now. Now I feel ashamed because now I'm gonna have these all these groups coming after me saying, "Why are you using the D word so liberally?" I'm not. I don't mean to. It's just, people assume, and we get into all kinds of conundrums.
Some people are scared of the D.
Well,
I've heard that one's identity is lived experience. For example, like there could be a woman who likes both women and men, but could identify as a lesbian, even if somebody else might say she's bisexual, and then it'd be wrong to call her bisexual. You'd have to call her lesbian because that's what she identifies as. That's what I've heard. It's all based on lived experience. Or somebody could identify as a triangle, and you have to call them that, or you're a Nazi. That's what I've heard.
Kat's in the chat and she says John sounds like he's bullying a guest. Would John bully a guest?
that would imply that I'm a victim. That's assuming my identity. I don't know how I take that.
Yeah, this lady, she's all backwards. Don't listen to her.
Well, with name my cat R, I must listen to her.
Oh, she's not really a cat either.
Oh, there you go. That proves my point. So she's not a cat, but she calls herself cat. So just like Drake calls himself Drake, but he's not the D word. See how that works?
Well,
he is a D word. His name is Drake.
But I'm not a sleeve stack. I'm an intrusion.
There you go. See? Okay, there you go. It goes right back to my point. See?
This guy's making a lot of good points, Rick.
Yes, it seems he is.
Did you see my drawing of the buckler I'm doing?
Yeah, we got. Well, while you're talking, I think you're highlighting.
This is gonna be the buckler free comic book on Webtoon.
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
And he's gonna beat the living hell out of the Canadian Shield on an issue basis.
Uh-oh.
Every update is just gonna be him beating up the Canadian Shield.
But what about the fishing part? We need to see more about the fishing.
He's a fisherman. He's a fisherman as a hobbyist, though, not by trade.
Now, does he get an actual fishing license, or does he usurp that because of
well, a fishing license? The buckler we're talking about.
Well, there you go. See?
Buckler's a villain. He would buy no fishing license.
So there you go. So he's a rogue fisherman.
Yeah. So somebody could tell him anything at all. Just catch a beating right there and then, especially a park ranger.
So he'll catch all kinds of fish. He don't care.
He doesn't even have a business license for his tackle shop.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he's really rogue. Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, he does have a bait and tackle shop that is completely illegal. But nobody can tell him anything because he's essentially the biggest villain in town, so he just does what he wants.
With no heroes in town.
They tried to be in town, but they weren't allowed.
That just means plenty of fish in the sea.
Mm-hmm. So, other than like identity politics, where were we at before Rick started moving this conversation to a weird place?
Me?
I have no clue. I am completely just mind warped right now. So, I just see the guy here fishing, and I'm thinking, okay, all kinds of fish are available. No fishing license. That means that there is no size discrimination, no quantity limitations. He's going all out for anything and anyone that catches his hook.
Yeah. He's not a very good fisherman, though. He's not going to catch you.
Well, I don't know about that. He might draw. He might be lucky today.
Yeah, he's very impatient. He's fishing not very far from where his feet are in the water.
Well, that's a good feeling. I miss some water in my feet.
I forgot to put hair on his right leg. What am I doing, man?
Sounds hairy to me.
What?
I said sounds hairy to me that you forgot to put hair on his leg.
Sounds hairy? What does that mean?
I have no idea. Trying to make a pun.
A pun about what?
Hair! You missed the hair on his leg, so it sounds hairy. Then you missed putting the hair on his leg. I don't know why it sounds hairy, but it does.
Hairy. What is hairy used as a euphemism? Like a hairy situation?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that doesn't work here, Rick. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna log off now because I gotta situate myself for something else. But
okay. Well,
I gotta admit, this was actually pretty interesting, pretty fun. This went into areas that I didn't expect, which is exciting. So I definitely had a blast.
Well, thanks for coming on. Feel free to be in the chat at any time, and if you want on, and if you're in the chat, just let me know. More than
I'll definitely. I will spam the chat for sure. No problem.
So yeah, again, thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Yeah.
You too. I appreciate it. And appreciate everybody on the panel. I appreciate people in the chat. You guys asked some very tough questions. I'm very impressed, and I will remember to be more prepared next time.
Well, I'm impressed with your book. It looks like it's going to be really fun.
To make sure it is fun, and that's the most important thing is for the readers to have fun reading this book and come away with a full experience.
Yeah, I think sometimes it gets lost these days.
That's a very good point.
You know, the fun aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, fellas. I will see you guys around. Have a great rest of your nights.
Okay.
Take it easy.
You too. God bless.
Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, and Metal did put there. So everybody, make sure you go check that out. There is a link in the description for that, as well as his Twitter. Is that just the Indiegogo and the Twitter, Metal, or did I put anything else there?
I see. Yeah, just those two.
Okay. I asked you if you had it. Shinobi says, "Come up with better questions, Rick." But everybody, for an update on the Shield, for those that do not know, the money's being put in my bank from PayPal at the moment. Hopefully tomorrow it will be there. It was not there today, but it is being put there today, and hopefully by the end of the week, we will be ordering the books to come. And hopefully they'll be, I doubt they'll be here by the end of next week, but hopefully by the end of the week after. So we will be able to start shipping everything out to everybody.
That sounds fantastic. I've been waiting for that book for a very long time.
Oh, Rick, I also put Al's Instagram in the chat if you want to follow that.
Yeah, that's all right. I might put that in the thing a little bit later.
I put the Indiegogo campaign in the chat too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, thanks, Lorenzo. Metal did a little bit above you, but it's always good to have it in there.
Yeah, I had done that previously. I think we kind of traded off.
Yeah.
And some other might probably put something in there before I did. So.
Mrs. Gellert says the truth is John stole the money. John spent the money on miniature ducks and pygmy goats. Can you believe what your wife's accusing you of, John?
Yeah, she's calling me some sort of a goat pervert. That's not true.
Is she goading you into reacting?
Sure.
Sure.
She just wants attention because I told her I'm not going to talk to her the rest of the day. I'm coming outside to work.
Are you buckling down?
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at my panel right here. My Dillard original Canadian buckler from, was it like a 4-page?
Mm-hmm.
Was it a 4-page book?
Mm-hmm.
And I've got another drawing of yours. Yeah.
Oh, and John, there should probably be another around $30 coming to you. So if you want to send the pages to me, all the cut up artwork for the buckler stuff, you can just keep that money, and if it's any more of the shipping costs, I'll give it to you out of stuff for.
Oh yeah, I was planning on it.
Yeah, well, did you realize there was another $30 still coming, or?
There was supposed to be another 50 still coming.
Well, it said 30 where I looked.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, there's going to be another payment put into your bank account.
Yeah, I got you.
And Mrs. Dillard said, I made him replace the money by using the stimulus check, and he pouted it.
No, this is incredible. I have closed captions turned on, and it's instantaneously, well, almost instantaneously captioning what everybody's saying.
And even trying to autocorrect based on context in case he gets it wrong. The closed caption is actually pretty good and neat.
Yeah, this is really amazing stuff. Yeah, a lot of people, I don't know, I mean, maybe a lot of people I think are upset that there's not like flying cars or whatever. We were supposed to have them by now, but we have some pretty impressive technology. It seems like things have really gotten good recently. But
I don't know. I'm pretty upset still about the flying car stuff.
Yeah.
It's looking like I'm probably gonna be in my grave for many, many years before we get anything cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have like maybe like self-driving cars, which people enjoy.
Who cares
driving
about that? It's like,
Yeah,
but flying cars are honestly kind of stupid.
No, you're stupid. How about that?
well, think about like these cars, like these self-driving cars. They're gonna be like just a few inches away from each other, bumper to bumper. I think
I have dreams about being in like a just a personal, helicopter. I know they sell kits you can make them at your house, but I want one that's good.
Oh, well, see, a personal helicopter would be fine. That's the closest thing to a flying car you're actually going to get.
You don't know that. Stop being a Debbie Downer.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking of physics. The way people want flying cars are actually kind of dumb and more dangerous than not.
But can they go when they fly?
Probably not. I mean, I guess you could put a sound system on it to make it do that.
I don't think he cares about it
going. I don't have sound effects.
Imagine every time a car went by.
It's awesome.
I
mean, every time a car goes by around here, I hear.
Kat says she wants a self-driving car. Thinks she can drive on the highway for 3 hours and read a book behind the wheel.
Dillard's did sound like a cat.
Yeah.
One could be getting a bit
really, really arrogant and awful people driving around their motorcycles just like all day long. It's awful.
Yeah, they can get quite noisy.
But here's the other problem with flying cars. You've been on the road.
God.
You know how bad people are at driving as somebody who drove professionally, right?
Yes.
Now imagine that, but in the air with another dimension added instead of just 2D. Now you're going up and down as well. And when these things crash, they fall down and kill people.
I don't think they'll fall down and kill people.
Well,
I've been another dimension and I fall down and kill people.
They'll bump into each other and they'll just do a little flip in the air and just keep on going.
Yeah, that's not how things work.
That's how flying cars work.
I take that back. I don't kill people. But it sounded good.
What do you think? It's just like bumper cars, but in the air?
Absolutely.
Hey, Metal, we're on the ground and we even flip now. We go up and then they come down. So, sometimes.
Yeah. And then we're just going to make this even worse with gravity involved and the fact that you're stacking things on top. What happens when two people crash and then it goes down into cars on the layer below them?
That's not even a real thing, gravity.
Do you know what I say? Gravity, schmavity.
Exactly. Thank you.
Raggedy says, flying cars would obviously be self-driving.
Did he say gravity says?
No, he said flying cars would be obviously self-driving.
Yeah, Metal.
But who said that?
Raggedy.
Oh, I thought you said gravity.
No.
I don't even know if they're self-driving, if that would solve most of the problems. That would be...
Oh, hey, Raggedy Man. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Essentially, these flying cars would be just have bumpers everywhere. And if you did crash, it would be like Demolition Man, where the whole thing would just get filled like a foam, fall safely to your recreation.
Well, yeah, you'd be safe, but what about people underneath you?
What about them? Their cars are equipped in the same way.
But would it be
the future? The future?
But wouldn't it be much more dramatic if everything exploded? Like all these flying cars would explode, like the Hindenburg.
I mean, it'd be more realistic if they exploded.
Now, would these flying cars be flying as high as airplanes? How high do we want these flying cars to fly?
Oh, I would hope not.
No, something cool where you could like skim a lake and put your hand out of the window and feel the water in your fingers.
Oh, so you're talking like hovercraft type cars?
Yes!
Not actual flying cars. See, there's a big difference.
I gotta like sign a waiver. I'll sign the waiver.
We do currently have hovercrafts. It seems like they could be made more widely available. Wonder what the problem is with them more available.
I don't know why they went out of style, but there was cars back in like the 60s that could go on the lake and all that.
Oh yeah, those amphibious vehicles?
Yeah.
They went out of style because they were awful at what they did.
Yeah, probably. That's the best guess.
I was just playing Oregon Trail a few days ago, and I was able to take my wagon train and turn it into...
No, you didn't. You got dysentery.
No, he actually finished. I was on stream with him.
That was actually quite... Yeah, that was quite a surprise. Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever finished the game before. I can't even recall. I could have finished it lots of times for all I know in school, but because that's when I played it mainly was in school.
No, but, what was his name? Was it Joey or whatever? One of your guys did die from dysentery.
Oh, really? Because I remember a lot of
He was the same guy that kept picking up the snake for some reason.
Yeah, they're getting bit by snakes all the time, like constantly.
Yeah, the untamed American West isn't for the faint of heart.
Maybe they were those surfing.
Or for people who are dumb enough to try to pick up snakes.
Yeah, maybe they were serpent hands.
Yeah, like those crazy Christians in the Appalachians.
Yeah, they play the electric guitar, and which some of that's pretty cool music, but I mean, it's just like you heard some of that stuff. Like, they're like rocking out. I wonder if the music is what helps with the snakes, like the vibration of the music or something.
I don't know, Rick. Is that how it works?
I don't know. Music, I think, does something with the vibration because you see the snake tamers. I'm not sure how true that sort of thing is.
Why does it say in the Bible? Why does it say in the Bible that I can go off and handle a snake and do all this stuff, but if I did in reality, I'd get bit? Do you know the context of that? Because that's always puzzled me.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to be going to do it to test God, per se, or for lack of a better way of saying it. But it does say about these things won't hurt you, because look at the Apostle Paul. He got bit by snakes a few times and it did nothing. And then the people thought he was God.
Was that just in those times though, when they were trying to spread the gospel, and because nowadays it seems like missionaries get killed all sorts of ways. Like one missionary went to Papua New Guinea and then got eaten by other people.
Yeah, but even people in the Bible got killed, different ways too. It's not.
This is probably just a bad translation. And how it originally went is he'd be like, "No, Paul, look, are you stupid? Look at the patterns on the snake. It's not poisonous."
I was just kind of wondering if it was more like because Christianity did spread very fast.
The thing is, the people in the town would have known by the pattern too, and they were surprised. So it was most likely a poisonous snake, I would say, that he got bit by.
I don't know. These people in the Bible, they make a lot of claims. They do, and they back up a lot of their claims with I guess you're just not faithful enough. I don't know. I got a hard time believing these guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of
know the part
snakes
where,
that
they both got
closely
bit. I didn't
resemble
realize that.
poisonous snakes, but aren't poisonous themselves.
Yeah.
And they usually live in the same areas as these poisonous snakes.
Yeah. But I don't think you're going to fool a whole town over that, so...
I don't know, people are pretty stupid.
Yeah.
I just wondered if
I know, they got a whole country to wear masks. What are you talking about?
I just wondered if it was limited towards the time of the apostles or something. Because St. Thomas was set to go, and I don't know if this is true, but he was set to spread Christianity all the way to India. And there are Christians in India who've been there since for a really long time on the early churches. So that's pretty impressive. Whoever spread it there.
But what
Rick, how come your branch of Christianity isn't out there handling snakes and doing cool stuff?
Because as I was trying to explain, nowhere in the Bible does it actually say go and do this stuff, to show off, for lack of a better way of saying it. It just says if it happens, it's more implying if it happens to you, it's not going to hurt. Like with Paul, he didn't go out and, handle the snake to, try and prove something. The snake came up and bit him without him asking for it. And now there's going to be sometimes
those Christians make claims like, "Oh, if you only had the faith of a mustard seed, you could do miraculous things, but you don't have any faith, so you can't do anything."
Oh, like say.
Well, I wouldn't say any faith. It's just not that big. And
I guess Satan did tempt Jesus with telling him to jump off that cliff, and Jesus said, "Don't put your Lord, your God, to the test."
Yeah.
That sounds like a cop out. I don't know.
That's like one of those. I can do it, but not when anybody's looking.
It's like I could do it if I felt like it.
I think Rick's saying like under certain circumstances, people could be bit by a snake while on a mission to preach the gospel, and if it's the Lord's will, they wouldn't die.
Exactly.
But I mean, it seems like a few qualifiers in there, but because this is always one thing that kind of puzzled me, but
I can't always say what the qualifiers will be. Like everybody, it seems every situation is different. What will most accomplish God's will? Like you're talking about earlier, the person that goes over to the tribes and preaches and then they get killed. Well, 40 years later, because of or something like that, 20 years later or something like that, the son of the missionary comes back and he shows forgiveness and that over the killing of his father, and the tribes are astonished, and that brings them more to Christ than the preaching earlier.
I see. There are cases where people have survived where even doctors aren't sure why. Some people say that's miraculous.
And
well, the main qualifier for all of it is that there's no point in asking God for anything that you want, because the only prayers that claim to work are for His will to be done.
A lot of times, I would agree.
No, all the time, in every instance.
Yeah, but at the same time, we don't know which it's going to be, for His will. So, better to ask.
Right. So there's really no point in being like, this is something that I really want. No, it doesn't work that way. You just ask for God's will. That's pretty much it.
So what's the point?
Isn't that what it actually says in the Bible? Well, it's when people pray to say if it's your will.
Yeah. But then again, you can't have without asking either, too. So
maybe you won't get unless it's His will.
Yeah, but maybe you won't even get, if you don't ask, you won't even get either. Even if it's quote unquote his will.
And no, that's not how it works.
And to address Cat, wait, is Rick claiming a snake could bite him and he would be protect it? Possibly, possibly not. I don't know. I'm not going to test it. I'm not going to go out there and test it. I'm not dumb enough to.
Or faithful enough.
Yeah, that too, probably.
Yeah, even those serpent handlers get bit occasionally.
Yeah. But see, it's not about not being bitten. It's about what happens afterwards.
Well, some of them even die.
Yeah.
That's what you got to carry around the anti-venom.
I don't think they believe in that, though. They're like, oh, it was God's will for that person to die.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure the serpent handlers believe in anti-venom.
Oh, the serpent handling churches? I'm not sure. Because I hear them dying. So. Oh,
I know I personally believe in anti-venom because I like living.
Yeah, I believe in it too. Our Reed says, I feel Rick should test it live here tonight. I don't feel I should. I like living too.
Yeah, I guess.
I will admit I will admit it is a tricky thing to say the least.
It's not tricky. It's very simple.
I'm going to keep asking different Christians this question. Because I've never quite heard a satisfactory answer. Rick may have come the closest, but... then we asked them all the other serpents.
But all that said, it is like 7 after 12. We are done for the night. Metal, you want to... actually, no, let's go with Lorenzo. Lorenzo, you want to promote anything?
Oh, yeah, I'm Lorenzo Sleestack. You can find me here on YouTube. I stream on a bunch of different nights, but always on Thursday nights. You know, unless there's some sort of emergency. And I'm also on Twitter and Facebook.
Cool. Metal?
Oh, yeah, it's right there beneath me on the screen. Go to xdynamuschaos.com. Got a lot of cool stuff. I'm always adding things. Almost done with that manga for the Tezuka Manga Contest, and you can read everything that's finished on the site all in one post.
Cool.
A lot of cool stuff for you.
And John?
Yeah, you can find me on Indiegogo. Go and look up the Roadwarrior Drake, and there you can buy my book.
Oh, well. Let's see. And thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. Everybody on the panel. Alsma, thank you for coming out as well and promoting your book. Hopefully you get some sales in the next little bit. And yeah, go check out, if you haven't, go check out the Canadian Shield. You have till Friday. I will be ending the in-demand on Friday for it. So we will catch you all tomorrow on my Twitch. I will be drawing up something or other, and then of course I'll be back here tomorrow night to draw one of my characters. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful evening. Love you all.